Hello friends, welcome to this video lecture. Today's topics of discussions are Introduction to Motivation, Theories of Motivation. Out of the theories of motivation, McGregor's, Herzberg's and Maslow's theories of motivation will be covered in this video lecture. By the way, I'm Dr. Rahmatullah, working for Government College of Engineering, Srirangam. What do you mean by motivation? This is a very common word. Everybody would have learned knew or used it in their day-to-day life. The word motivation means to move. This is derived from a Latin word called movere. The motivation process encompasses all those pressures and influences that trigger, channel, and sustain human behavior. According to Kuhns and O'Donnell, motivation is a term applying to the entire class of desires, drives, needs, wishes, and similar forces that induce an individual or a group of people to work together towards the organizational goals. According to Scott, motivation is a process of stimulating people in an action to accomplish desired goal. What are the characteristics of motivation? Motivation is an internal feeling. Motivation is related to needs. Motivation produces goal-oriented behavior. Motivation can be either positive or negative. We'll see one by one. Motivation is an internal feeling. It is a psychological phenomena which generates in the mind of an individual that feeling that he lacks certain things and needs those things, which is a force within an individual that drives him to behave in a certain way. If the guy is motivated, he will work towards the organizational goal. If he is not motivated, he may not contribute to that level. He may absent for the work. His involvement may be very poor. So the motivation is the driving factor for the organizational betterment. Motivation is related to needs. Yes, needs are deficiency which are created whenever there is a psychological or physiological imbalance. In order to motivate a person, one has to understand his needs that call for satisfaction. If a manager wants to motivate a subordinate, the manager should know what are the needs for the subordinate. Then if the needs of the subordinate is satisfied, the subordinate will automatically contribute to the success of organization. Motivation process is a goal-oriented. Goals are anything which will alleviate a need or reduce a drive. An individual's behavior is directed towards a goal. Motivation can be either positive or negative. Positive or incentive motivation is generally based on reward, whereas the negative or fear motivation is based on force and fear. The fear causes persons to act in a certain way because they are afraid of consequences if they don't. The fear may be like losing of job, salary cut, or like these things are called as negative motivation. Whereas the positive motivation is process of attempting to influence the subordinates to do your will through their possibility of gain or reward. Here the manager will motivate like if you done this you may be rewarded with this. If you complete this within the period of time you may be incentivized. Like these are the certain motivation things. Why the motivation is so important? Because motivation is a driving force for the accomplishing the goals of an organization. Workers will tend to be as efficient as possible by improving upon their skills and knowledge. For performing any task, two things are necessary: ability to work and willingness to work. This willingness to work can be created only by motivation. Willingness to work can be created by only by motivation. When the workers are motivated, they are contented and disciplined. The friction between the workers and the management will be reduced. Motivation is the best remedy for resistance to change. Normally, all the employees will show the resistance to change. If they get motivated, they will voluntarily change for the new advanced things. Motivation facilitates the maximum utilization of all factors so that the productivity will be higher. Motivation promotes a sense of belongingness among the workers. What are the different types of motivation? There are a lot of theories of motivation, like McGregor's theory X and theory Y, Abraham Maslow's need hierarchy theory, Herzberg's motivation and hygiene theory, Victor Vroom expectancy theory, Clayton Alfredra's ERG theory, McClellan's theory of needs, Stacey Adams' equity theory, Skinner's reinforcement theory. Today's lecture we will see how the theory X and theory works, how the need hierarchy theory works, and how the motivation hygiene theory works. We'll see one by one. Motivation theories. The first one is McGregor theory, X and theory Y. According to McGregor, people inside the organization can be managed in two ways. The first is basically negative, which falls under the category X. The other one is positive, which falls under category Y. What are the assumptions under theory X and theory Y? Under theory X, employees inherently do not like work and whenever possible will attempt to avoid it. Because employees dislike work, they have to be forced or threatened with punishment to achieve goals. In theory X, it's a negative kind of motivation where the manager will threaten salary cut, suspension, or termination if certain things are not achieved in time or to the satisfactory level. Under the assumption of Y, theory Y, here it's a physical and mental effort at work is a natural as rest or play. People do exercise self-control and self-direction and if they are committed to those goals. An organization that run on theory X lies tends to be authoritarian in nature. The word authoritarian suggests such ideas as a power to enforce obedience and right to command. In contrast, theory Y organization can be described as a participative and positive, where the aims of organization and the individuals in it are integrated. So theory X, like do it or you are out of the organization. Y is uh, like it's motivation. It's a participative. It's a democratic. Everybody will voluntarily participate. The second theory is Abraham Maslow's need hierarchy theory. According to Maslow, he classified the need into five different categories, starting from physiological needs, security or safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, and need for self-actualization. He concluded that when one set of needs is satisfied, the people will look for the next level of uh, needs that will create a kind of motivation. What are the physiological needs? The food, water, warmth, rest are the physiological needs. The people are longing for physiological needs. Once they get satisfied with that, they will look for safety needs. What do you mean by safety needs? The security and safety of the individual, of the house, of an organization is part of safety needs. Once they achieve the safety needs, they will look for psychological needs, that is belongingness and love needs and esteem needs. Once the esteem needs and belongingness and love needs are satisfied, an individual can look for self-actualization. This can be seen through individual perspective and organizational perspective. Once you see through individual perspective, the base of the need hierarchy theory is hunger, then stability of income, then friendship, then status, and self-fulfillment. If we come to the organization, the basic salary, pension plan, cordial relationship with colleagues, job title, achievement of goals. We will see one by one. What do you mean by physiological needs? These are important needs for sustaining the human life, like unavu, udai, uraividam, like food, water, warmth, shelter, sleep, medicine, and education are the basic physiological needs. Until these needs are satisfied, the people will not think of the next level. Once these things are satisfied to a degree to a maintained life, no other motivating factors can work. The second one is security or safety needs. These are the needs to be free of physical danger and of fear of losing job, property, or food or shelter. Once the physiological needs are satisfied, the individual will look for security and safety needs. Once the individual is satisfied with the safety needs, he will look for social needs. Since people are social animals, social beings, they need to belong to and be accepted by others. People try to satisfy their needs by affection, acceptance, and friendship. Here, the people will look for societal needs, societal needs, and social esteems. The next level is esteem needs. This kind of need produces satisfaction as power, prestige, status, and self-confidence. It includes both internal esteem factors like self-respect, autonomy, and achievements, and external esteem factor such as states, recognition, and attention. People are generally longing for recognition. For their work, they need recognition. Then only the people will get motivated. Once once the first three needs are satisfied, the individual will look for esteem needs, the power, they wanted to show the self-esteem to the society. The last need is self-actualization. This is the top of the pyramid. It is the drive to become what one capable of becoming. It includes growth, achieving one's potential and self-fulfillment. It is to maximize one's potential and to accomplish something. Once the esteem needs are satisfied, the individual will try to work as a self. He always wanted to become what he wanted to become. He don't want to any control over him. So this is called self actualization. This is the top of the pyramid. All of the needs are structured in a hierarchy, and only once a lower level of need has been fully met would a worker be motivated by the opportunity of having the next need up in the hierarchy satisfied. The third theory of motivation is Herzberg's motivation theory. This can be termed as two-factor theory or sometimes motivation hygiene theory. According to his theory, job satisfaction and job dissatisfactions are two factors. He devised a question: what do people want from their jobs? He tried to get answers for this question. He asked people to describe in detail such situation when they felt exceptionally bad or when they felt exceptionally good. From the responses, he concluded that the opposite of satisfaction is not dissatisfaction. Removing dissatisfying characteristics from job does not necessarily make job satisfying. According to him, he has classified the two factors. One is hygiene factors, another one is motivational factors. The hygiene factors do not give positive satisfaction or lead to higher motivation, though dissatisfaction results from their absence. For example, status, job security, salary, fringe benefits, work conditions, good pay, paid insurance, and vacations are part of hygiene factors. These things may not give positive satisfaction, but these things are removed from one's benefits. This may lead to dissatisfaction. Whereas the motivational factors that give positive satisfaction or lead to higher motivation, though no dissatisfaction results from their absence, like growth, prospectus job, achievement, responsibility, recognition, challenges. These are the motivational factors. These things will give positive motivation. In their absence, that does not lead to dissatisfaction. According to the Herzberg's motivation hygiene theory, there are four possible combinations. An organization may give very high hygiene and very high motivation, very high hygiene, low motivation, low hygiene and high motivation, low hygiene and low motivation. The condition hygiene and high motivation is an ideal situation where employees are highly motivated and have few complaints, whereas high hygiene and low motivation, employees have few complaints but are highly motivated because of the salary and other perks. In the third case, low hygiene and high motivation, employees are motivated but have a lot of complaints. This is a situation where the job is exciting and challenging, but salaries and work conditions are not up to the mark. The last one is low hygiene and low motivation. This is the worst situation where employees are not motivated and have many complaints. With this, I'll stop here. These are some of the references I followed. The rest of the theories of motivation will be dealt in the next presentation. Thank you for your patience listening. Thank you.